Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to let y'all know what's going on, give you a little bit of an update on me. But before I actually go into this, the gist of this video, let me give you a little bit of a background and then we'll fast forward. So we're going to go backwards about 10 years when I was driving for night transportation. I had considered getting my HAZMAT endorsement on my license so that way I could be qualified to haul hazardous materials once in a while. And back then I knew absolutely nothing about it. I mean, 10 years ago I was still somewhat fairly new in the industry. Although I had 3-4 years under my belt, I was still somewhat fairly new, or I was a professional rookie, if you want to call it that way. So anyway, I started checking into getting my HAZMAT on my license back 10 years ago, like I mentioned a moment ago. And back then, I was not as efficient or computer savvy on these computers or these cell phones. Back 10 years ago, guys, I barely knew how to send a text message. I'm just being real with y'all. I had a cell phone. I knew how to call people. I knew how to receive calls. And I was in the process of learning how to text and receive text. I was very, extremely limited on computers themselves. So I did not know 10 years ago that you could go to a website and do a bunch of practice tests for your HAZMAT. I didn't know. So I talked to a bunch of people and they told me just go to the local DMV, get you a HAZMAT book for your state, study it a couple of times, go test. Okay, no problem. During the process, when I went to the local DMV to get my HAZMAT, I discovered that they have to do fingerprinting and background checks first. Well, okay, now that adds another process. So I went and had the fingerprints done, the background check done, all that comes back good. Now I go to the DMV to try for my HAZMAT, and here's where the pivot point is. I literally failed the HAZMAT test twice in 8 days, guys. Literally twice in 8 days. So I literally got discouraged because I don't like to fail at something. I'm just being straight with y'all. So I have been discouraged from even attempting for my HAZMAT for the last 10 years. Literally, I kid you not, it's been 10 years. Well, just recently, maybe a month ago, 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, something has come up in my life, and I'm not going to give the details right now. I'll share that with you later on in the future. Might be 2 months from now, might be 6 months from now, might be 2 years from now. But when the time is right, I'll give you those details. Anyway, something's come up in my life very recently that has encouraged me to go back to looking toward getting a HAZMAT on my license. And now we're at the gist of this video right here, and it's the reason I'm doing this video. As of, I did not know this until just a couple of weeks ago. That's probably my fault for not keeping up with the new laws. But as of a couple of months ago, February 7th of 2022, that's just a few months ago, the new law has passed. And I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you, starting from point letter A all the way through point letter Z. And so that way I don't miss nothing. Now, the new law as of February 7th, 2022 states simply this. Anyone who is seeking to obtain a new CDL, in other words, if you've never had a CDL on your license and you're wanting to go get a CDL, this pertains to you, or upgrade their current CDL to the following endorsements: S, P, or H endorsements. H is me, that's HAZMAT. So anyone seeking to obtain a new CDL or upgrade their current one with a S, P, or H endorsement as of February 7th, 2022 has to go through an ELDT course, entry level driver training. Now, let me go ahead and pause right there and insert this right here. When I talked to the DMV, they explained all this to me, and I said, ma'am, I've been driving professionally for 14 years. I'm hardly an entry-level driver now. She said, I understand that, but the new law says this, so it doesn't matter if you've been driving 6 months or 30 years. Boom, it applies to you. Okay, so y'all hang on a minute. Diesel, back up, buddy. Back up, buddy. So anyway, so here's the bottom line. Now, again, I'm going to quote the date several times throughout this video, so y'all just bear with that part. I just want to make sure everybody understands the date and time frame we're looking at here. So now, as of February 7th, 2022, since I've never had HAZMAT on my license, I have to go through an ELDT course, entry-level driver training. Now, here's the particulars on this. It is, I called the ELDT people, the entry-level driver training people themselves. Here's how this works. You pay $197 for the course. It can be done online or at a trucking school. The choice is yours. Now, it's $197 to take the course. She said, depending on your personal level of comprehension, the course can take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours long. There's some reading material and some videos. Once the course is done, you have a 15-question quiz in which you must score a minimum of 80%. Now, here's the pivot point. If you fail the test, this is what the lady was telling me about 3 or 4 days ago. So this is very, very fresh information. If you fail the 15-question quiz, you can go back and retake the quiz as many times as you need to for free until you pass. Once you pass, the system automatically shuts it down, locks you out. Then if you want to go back through it, then you have to pay $197 all over again. Now, the good part is, she said that once you do pass, you can go back into that same website, CDL. Oh, shoot. I forgot what it was already. Oh, here we go. CDLdirect.com. I'm going to say that one more time. CDLdirect.com. You can go right back into that website and print your successful completed certificate right then, not even 5 minutes later. That's the good part. Now, here's the tricky part. You still have to get fingerprinted and you still have to go through a background check. But these days, that goes through TSA, Transportation Safety Administration. What happens is, once you complete that ELDT, their system automatically sends your completion test results to the FMCSA like that. Everything's done online. So now you go out of your way to contact the TSA, Transportation Safety Administration, I do believe it's what the letters are. They schedule you up to get your fingerprinting done and start your background check. Once that's done, then you go to the DMV and take your HAZMAT test. The HAZMAT test comprises of approximately 120 questions in which you must score a minimum of 80%. Once you reach your 80%, boom, the system automatically shuts you down because you passed. Then they go ahead and put a HAZMAT on your license. Now, all that to say this: anybody wanting a new CDL or upgrade their current CDL to the SPH endorsements has to go through this ELDT course. So, I just found that out just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sharing it with everybody I can that links on to my channel that knows I'm a truck driver. Now, this point you might be saying, Well, if you've survived for 14 years without a hazmat, why worry about it now and go through the extra trouble? Well, let's just say that something's come up very recently that has given me a little bit of a nudge in that direction. And I realize now I should have pushed for it 10 years ago when I first started. So now you might be saying, well, how much hazmat does Crete Carrier haul? I can truthfully say the industry as a whole, not necessarily just Crete. There are many, many other major name corporations involved. The industry as a whole hauls less than 1% of hazmat freight across the board. In other words, let me reword that. If you see 100 trucks go down the road, there's going to be maybe one of them that's hauling hazmat. I'm going to say that part one more time. If you see 100 trucks going down the highway, maybe one of them is a hazmat load. Maybe that'll put it in perspective for you. So why am I seeking hazmat now since the percentage is so low? Honestly, it's just a personal goal. I should have done it 10 years ago. I should have pushed as hard as I could 10 years ago. That respect, I am a huge procrastinator, and everybody that knows me knows I'm a procrastinator. But at the same time, busting the hazmat test 10 years ago has seriously discouraged me. I'm just being straight with y'all. But it is still a personal goal. Now I'm pushing for it. Now, since I understand computers a little bit more than what I did 10 years ago, I'm getting online to CRIST-CDL.com. That's CRIST-CDL.com. And I'm taking the hazmat practice test over and over and over. I've taken it about 5 different times in the last week and a half, and the last 3 times I took the practice test, I knocked it out at 100% all the way through. So now I'm slowing down to only taking the practice test twice a week until I get back home. When I get home, I'm going to log online to cdldirect.com and take the ELDT course and get that done. So hopefully this gives you an update if you're looking to obtain a new CDL or upgrade your current CDL to a S, P, or H endorsement. That is what you're looking forward to as of February 7th, 2022. Hopefully this helps, guys. Over and out. Oh, and by the way, one last thing before I do leave. I mentioned a moment ago that something came up recently that's given me a little nudge in that direction. I will be posting a video of that issue when the time is right. So just stay tuned. Anybody want to like and share or comment in the comment section below, feel free to do so. Feel free to share this video with anybody who might be seeking a CDL or upgrading their current one. That's it for now, guys. Keep in touch. Later.